It's a name that carries a certain weight, a mystique. Mensa, the high IQ society. For many, it represents the pinnacle of intellectual achievement, an exclusive club for the world's sharpest minds. You've probably heard of it, maybe even joked about it. But have you ever seriously wondered, what does it actually take to get in? Could I qualify? The idea is tantalizing. To be officially recognized as being in the top 2% of the population in terms of intelligence, to have access to a global community of thinkers, dreamers, and problem solvers. But the path to membership can seem opaque, shrouded in myths and misconceptions. Is it an impossible test? Do you need to be a math genius? Do you have to have a PhD? Today, we are going to demystify the entire process. We're going to provide a clear, practical, step-by-step guide on how you can join Mensa. We'll cover the different ways to qualify, what to expect from the infamous test, and what it really means to be a member. This is your definitive guide on how to get into Mensa. First, what exactly is Mensa? Founded in 1946 in England, its mission was simple: to create a society for bright people that was entirely apolitical and free from all racial or religious distinctions. The only qualification for membership is a high IQ. The name Mensa itself means table in Latin, chosen to represent a round-table society where all members are equal. Today, it's a global organization with national groups in dozens of countries, offering social events, newsletters, and special interest groups on everything from astrophysics to board games. The core requirement for entry is to score at or above the 98th percentile on a standardized supervised intelligence test. But what does the 98th percentile actually mean? It means your score is higher than 98% of the general population. It puts you in the top 2%. This is the one and only hurdle you have to clear. So, how do you prove you've cleared it? There are two primary paths to membership. The first path is by submitting prior evidence. The second, and more common path, is by taking the official Mensa admission test. Let's break down each one. Let's start with path number 1. Submitting prior evidence. This is the route for you if you've already taken a standardized intelligence test at some point in your life under supervised conditions. Many people have, without even realizing it could qualify them for Mensa. National Mensa groups maintain a list of hundreds of accepted tests and the specific scores you need. These can include well-known college admission tests like the SAT or ACT taken before a certain date, graduate school exams like the GRE or the Miller Analogies test, and even certain military aptitude tests. The list also includes specific IQ tests administered by a qualified psychologist, like the Wechsler Adult Intelligence Scale or the Stanford Binet. The process is straightforward. First, you need to visit the website of the national Mensa group in your country, for example. American Mensa or British Mensa have found their list of accepted tests and scores. If you see a test you've taken, your next step is to get an official copy of your results. This can sometimes be the trickiest part. You might need to contact the College Board for old SAT scores or the school district or psychologist who administered the test. Once you have the official documentation, you simply submit it to Mensa along with an application and a one-time processing fee. A psychologist on their staff will evaluate your submission. If the score meets their criteria, you'll receive an invitation to join. The big advantage of this path is that you avoid the pressure of taking a new test. The downside is that tracking down decades-old records can sometimes be a challenge. Now, let's move on to path number 2. Taking the Mensa admission test. This is the most direct and popular way to join. If you don't have prior evidence, this is the path for you. You sign up for a testing session directly through your national Mensa group's website. These sessions are held regularly in various cities and are administered by a certified proctor. So, what is the test actually like? This is where most of the mystery lies. It's not one single test. Typically, you'll sit for a battery of 2 separate tests. One is often a culture fair test that relies on logic and pattern recognition using shapes and figures, designed to be independent of language or cultural knowledge. The other test usually measures verbal reasoning and vocabulary. You need to get a qualifying score on just one of the tests in the battery to be invited to join. The session is timed, usually lasting about 2 hours in total. A crucial question people ask is, can you study for the Mensa test? The official answer from Mensa is no. An IQ test is designed to measure your innate reasoning ability, not your accumulated knowledge. However, you can absolutely prepare. The goal of preparation is not to cram facts, but to familiarize yourself with the types of questions you'll encounter. This reduces anxiety and allows you to perform at your best. The Mensa website itself often has a Mensa workout or a practice quiz. While this is not the real test, it gives you a feel for the style of the questions. You can also find books and online resources filled with logic puzzles, spatial reasoning problems, and abstract pattern recognition exercises. The more comfortable you are with this style of thinking, the more confident you will be on test day. The cost for the testing session is relatively modest, and you can find the current fee and schedule on the Mensa website. After the test, your results are sent off for scoring. It can take a few weeks to hear back. If you've passed, you'll receive a letter of congratulations and an invitation to become a member. But what happens if you take the test and you don't get a qualifying score? It's important to keep this in perspective. An IQ test is just one measure of one specific type of intelligence. It doesn't measure your creativity, your emotional intelligence, your wisdom, your artistic talent, or your overall worth as a person. Many of the world's most successful and brilliant people would not qualify for Mensa. If you don't pass, it simply means your cognitive profile doesn't align with that particular test on that particular day. In most countries, you are only allowed to take the official Mensa admission test once in your lifetime, so it's important to be well rested and mentally prepared on the day. So, to recap, your journey to joining Mensa involves choosing one of two paths. You can either dig up old test scores from a qualifying standardized test, or you can sign up for and take the official Mensa admission test. Both paths lead to the same destination, an invitation to join a global community built on the foundation of intellectual curiosity. Joining Mensa can be a wonderful way to connect with like-minded individuals and stimulate your mind. But remember, it is not the ultimate definition of your intelligence or your potential. The pursuit of knowledge and the desire to connect with others are valuable goals in themselves, whether you have a membership card or not. Have you ever considered joining Mensa? Or perhaps you're already a member? We would love to hear about your experiences in the comments below. If this guide helped demystify the process, please give this video a like and subscribe to High IQ Society for more explorations of the world's most fascinating minds.